Welcome to Reverend Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium's Ask a Medium show here on Academy Talk Radio. We are live on the air from our studio in the Ivy League Psychic Academy in Amherst, New York. Reverend Ivy Rivera has designed the show in the expectancy that it will reach those who are ready to receive the knowledge being taught here at exactly the right moment in synchronicity with your spirit. Ivy encourages all listeners worldwide to attend classes electronically or in person at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, where we are raising out the next generation of light workers. For a list of classes, visit ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com, and to book a reading with Ivy, visit ivyriverapsychicmedium.com or find her on Facebook. Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Friedman, and I am your host for this week's show. I'm an assistant teacher here at the Ivy League Psychic Academy. My guest tonight is fellow assistant teacher and certified crystal healer, Theresa Matuszak. How are you, Theresa?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on. This is super exciting. Crystals is something I can talk about for forever. So I'll try to get it down to an hour.
Yeah,
here we go.
It's an important topic for everybody to learn, at least, the basic knowledge for now, and then obviously we'll talk more about your upcoming classes later.
Yay!
But first, there's some more upcoming classes we'd like to talk about. So we have relationships, boundaries, and cord cutting coming up on July 31st. Level 2 psychic mediumship development begins August 2nd. Hauntings, clearings, and attachment, August 3rd. We have a Psychic Kids Fair. That'll be 2 to 5 p.m. August 5th for children ages 6 to 14. There's a bunch of different activities and exercises they go through to kind of learn to start controlling and developing their abilities. Reiki 1 and 2 and Masters. That is 3 to 8 p.m. August 6th. And Theresa has actually a couple classes coming up, kind of the reason why we're doing, the crystal topic tonight. So we have Crystals 101, August 7th. Theresa, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that one is kind of getting down to the basics. We're going to really discuss, where kind of a little bit of the science. So it's where crystals come from, and how is it that we feel the energy, and then breaking it down into basic use of crystals with grids and pendulums and chakras and protection and cleansing, all kinds of things. So that's breaking that one down. It's 101.
Mm-hmm. I already took that class, loved it. Definitely recommend it for everybody that wants to learn more about crystals.
Yay!
You also have a brand new class coming up, also crystals and energy work. I'm really excited for this one, August 14th.
Yeah, that one is, we're going to dive a little deeper into the chakras with crystals, and then we're also going to cover how to use crystals in with Usui Reiki, and then also doing a simple generalized crystal energy session. So it's working with the energies of crystals, kind of like the way you work with energy with Reiki. You're kind of doing a similar thing. There's just no symbols. You're just focusing energy. So it's super cool, and I really can't wait to do both of those. I'm super excited about the second one especially.
All right. And then we also have a brand new class coming up. It's called Animal Communication and Healing Training. So through the use of live animals and remote viewing, you'll be taught to hear their thoughts, feel their physical, mental, and emotional ailments. You'll also learn healing techniques to be used in person or sent long distance. That is August 15th. I'm definitely looking forward to that class also. Okay, so, all right. So on tonight's show, we're going to talk about crystals, obviously. We'll cover how they work, how they assist with healing, and how to properly care for them. I'd also like to mention that if you call in tonight with a question, Theresa will be telling you 3 stones that work with the energy of your Zodiac sign. Yeah. It's a little added bonus we're throwing in tonight.
A little extra thingy in there, yeah.
So we already said, the goal tonight is just to give everybody a basic understanding of crystals, but, again, we highly, highly encourage you sign up for Teresa's classes that are coming up. We'll go much more in depth. And again, if you want to call in, we're taking questions all hour, either on topic or psychic mediumship questions. The number to call in is 646-668-2353. Again, that's 646-668-2353. All right, and before we get into the topic, we have a caller waiting, I believe. Hello, caller, are you there?
Hello. Hello.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Manny from Rochester, New York.
Okay. Hi, Manny. Thanks for calling. What's your question tonight?
Hi. Yeah, I had a spirit question about spirit guide. Is that okay? A question like that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Does my spirit guide have a message for me in regards to my countless years of my psychic mediumship unfoldment coming about?
I hear finally. That's the first word they're saying.
Oh.
Finally.
I get the same one. Yeah.
Great, that you've been working on it, but they're like, oh, he's finally realizing, it's like it's the final push, I want to say, to really get to where your abilities have been leading you. I feel like it feels pretty close. I feel like within like the next 3 weeks, you're gonna really like sit down and think about like where you want to take this and where it's gonna head. I also feel like a very strong sense of healing with you as well. So I feel like you're going to kind of incorporate some sort of healing modality, with what you learn and develop. Theresa, you have anything to add?
Yeah, the first thing I got was healing, and I heard energy with you. You feel very strong empath to me. It also feels like you can, as far as spirits go, I feel like you can actually sense where they are. Like you can feel where they're located. Like you walk into a room and all of a sudden you feel like something to your right or something to your left, and it feels like your feelers are really out there, and you can actually figure out what direction they're coming from. And I also kind of feel like you can maybe sense as far as like hearing them a little bit as well. So I would highly recommend. I mean, you're in Rochester, so you're not too far away from us here in Amherst, but I would highly recommend Ivy's Empathic Means class. Or Skyping in for any of the level 1 classes as well. But it feels like there's a lot dropping down, a lot coming down to you. So I would really get ready for that.
We also have a Meet Your Guides class as well. Yeah.
Guys,
so I feel like I would really take you through the I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's funny how you said finally, and with the healing in there, because it's been so long. And I used to do healing like back in 1990 for 7 years at a spiritualist church. So that's interesting. You brought that up too. Huh.
Mhm. Yeah, they're definitely encouraging you. It feels also like you're being bombarded with signs as well. Like I keep hearing like feathers and coins specifically with you. So I would say start.
Yeah.
So start paying attention to that.
Funny. Oh, okay.
Andy, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for calling.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye.
All right. You have another caller? Yep. Hello, caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Sure. My name is Kelly. I'm calling from Buffalo, New York.
Okay, Kelly. Thanks for calling. What's your question?
Just had a quick question about crystals. I had an unusual dream last night where I was actually sitting at a table with a white tablecloth, and I noticed that there was this lady dressed in white that put 3 crystals in front of me, but the crystals, there were 2 large purple-looking, almost like an amethyst crystal, and the unusual thing about the crystals were that they were laced with a very thin gold wiring around each of the large crystals, and the 3rd crystal was actually a large white crystal, and I lined them up side by side so they were straddled across the table with the 2 purple crystals side by side. Then the white crystal was at the end of the table. And then I noticed also that I signed this like form after entering a church that I noticed across the street from the table where the crystals were. And I was debating whether or not to sign the form at the top or the bottom. And I decided, well, I'll just sign the form at the bottom with my signature. And for some reason, I heard this like Bible verse in my head in the dream where it said, "For the last shall be first, the first last. Many are called, but few are chosen." And then I woke up. So I'm just wondering what that dream might have been all about.
Whoa, I definitely got goosebumps when you were talking about that.
Oh my goodness.
The lady in white definitely feels like a spirit guide coming to you. It's kind of funny. It's almost similar to the last caller we had, really encouraging you to kind of move in that direction. I'll let Tree explain the crystals. I just want to throw in with the signing of the paper that definitely feels like life contracts. Like they were actually showing, this is supposed to be on your path, and you're signing to kind of start working with the crystals, but I'll let Tree explain the crystal part of it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely an energy there that the crystals are really kind of like one of your specialties, we'll say. And what it feels like is that they're actually being almost like presented to you, like this is kind of like your starting point, and to really embrace that and move forward. I'm sorry I didn't hear correctly. Did you say there was like a gold spiraling around them?
Yeah, it was almost like a very thin, pure gold wire that was like laced around the purple crystals in particular, and the one was just pure white.
Okay, the purple with the gold, I kept hearing amethyst with that one. So that one feels to me like it's really going to kind of be like your familiar stone, something you really draw from and that you're drawn to. And then with the other one being more like a white, I was hearing quartz, and then I was hearing selenite as well. And those are two stones that not only like charge and cleanse other stones, but they help to work with spiritual connection as well. And the other one I kept hearing fluorite, which fluorite is another stone that's really, really good for communication, like connection, but it also helps with people that are teachers and students because it actually helps us to focus better and to help retain information as well. So as you go forward and this becomes like kind of like an education for you, that fluorite, having that in your pocket or like a piece of jewelry or something is really going to help you to hang on and harness all that energy and that information to move forward.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
I noticed
churches,
that also.
by the way, there's like spiritual path, spiritual enlightenment coming, so that's another major thing there for you.
Yeah.
It feels like you definitely have, a lot of natural ability, and then, they're just trying to emphasize that in your dreams and kind of starting to push you in this direction also.
Can I
do
keep a journal. Zodiac?
Sure. It's Cancer. My birthday is July 5th, 1964.
Okay, with cancers are water signs, and water signs are not only emotional but highly intuitive. So that actually suits you very well right there. And three stones that work with Cancer are moonstone, peridote, and pearls. And with peridote's not only really protective, but it's actually very good for the heart chakra. And moonstone is another stone that actually can help connect to the spiritual realm. But it comes in a couple different colors, so it really depends on what color you got. So I would say more of like a rainbow moonstone for this specific thing you got going on.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your insights with everything. It kind of shed some light on what the dream was all about. So now I have a better knowledge of crystals and what to go out to, add to start a collection. So.
And keep watch in November. There's a gem show coming to the Hamburg Fairgrounds called Gem Street USA. And they do a lot of raw crystals, tumbled crystals, and they do a lot of like beaded crystals as well, like stuff you can put on like chains and so forth. So keep an eye out for that one in November.
And that's the Hamburg Fair's Crystal Festival?
Yeah, it's called the Gem Street USA out at the Hamburg Fairgrounds.
Gem Street. Okay, great.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate all of your help.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for calling.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, and I believe we have another caller waiting. Hello, caller, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Katie, and I'm calling from Kentucky.
Okay, Katie, what's your question today?
Well, I actually just literally called in about 2 minutes ago, so I'm not exactly sure what type of question. What did the previous caller ask? You just do general questions?
They were telling us about a dream they had, but this is a crystal show. You have a question about crystals. We could take that, but also we're taking psychic mediumship questions as well. So anything, past, present, future.
If you want to give me your zodiac sign, I can tell you what crystals work well with that energy.
Okay. Well, I have quite a few crystals. I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, well, Capricorn, with the Capricorn's energy, Capricorn is very kind of like the teacher in some ways. They're very kind of collected, and they're very kind of, I want to say like geared towards like philosophy and stuff like that. And smoky quartz, malachite, and snowflake obsidian are really, really good crystals for Capricorns, because when they go on these journeys of like, you know, looking up things, educating themselves and stuff like that, they get a little bit more protection when they're doing this, because they like to venture out when they're going to do it. So those are three really, really good stones there.
I actually have those three, and it was like three that I didn't know what they were. I just like grabbed them at the store because I was drawn to them. That's three of the ones that I have.
There you go. Your Capricorn energy is like this one, and that one.
Now, can I ask you a question in regards to like psychic mediumship?
Yeah.
I'm kind of at a point in my life. I'm at a point in my life right now where I feel like I've went through a pretty big spiritual awakening within like the past 18 months or so, and I can tell the energy like right now that something big is like about to happen. Like I'm about to go through some sort of transformation. I'm not sure what it is. I have had a lot of stuff going on, and I'm at the point where I'm like I need a new place to live. I need a new job. Like I need a new start, and I don't know. I'm trying to prepare for this, I guess, but I don't really know what it is, this change. I don't know if there's anything you see in regards to finances and career, if you have just any insight as far as like how to prepare for something that you know is about to happen, but you don't know what it is.
So that actually sounds like something that Ivy covers in Level 1 Mediumship Development. It's called The Shift. So when you start the spiritual awakening...
I Googled and read that.
Okay, yeah. So wanting to move, wanting, you know, a new job and all that, that's actually just kind of trying to clear out the old just so you can focus on your new spiritual path. So I want to say definitely follow your intuition, you know, whatever direction you feel pulled into. It also feels like needing more time to, like, sit down and meditate and kind of process, like, what direction do I want to head in? Like, what is the purpose behind this? Why am I – yeah. So
I can't get clear on what I want.
Okay, let me just see here. All right, so immediately I'm hearing helping and healing others. I feel like you're really kind of put on this earth to kind of go through this process yourself and also guide others through it, you know, once you sort everything out. It definitely feels like a spiritual leader, spiritual teacher of sorts to kind of help people, excuse me, through, you know, the process that you learn. You want to add anything, Theresa?
When she said work, what I'm actually hearing is not so much of change of job or venue just yet, but what I'm hearing is because your energy is kicking up and you're going to, again, you know, empathic ability seems to really be kicking up lately, especially in the last couple months. So that empathic means class, you can Skype into since you're in Kentucky. But and all the classes are up on the website, the IvyLeaguePsychicAcademy.com. But with your job, what I'm feeling is with feeling the energy, it's how much energy are you going to be able to tolerate coming from your coworkers and stuff like that. So certain stones can actually help in the workplace with that energy. Like ones we already listed for you, being smoky quartz and especially the snowflake obsidian, can actually help with negativity. But you're really going to want to learn how to harness the energy, because learning that alone can help. And then the crystals are really just kind of an aid to help along. So I wouldn't jump too much. I don't see really so much of a job change. It's just relearning how to deal with energy.
Well, I'm actually not employed at this moment.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
No, it makes sense though. You know, like this whole new process in your life, it feels like, you know, everything like you said, amping up.
Well, I have a college degree, and I had to take off to spend time with or to be with my son because of his school schedule when he started preschool, and I'm needing to get out of a bad situation, so I'm needing money really bad. So I just recently picked up a waitressing job at this it's like a bar, diner, hole-in-the-wall place up the road. And part of it is like a lot of stuff that goes on there. There's a lot of broken people there. And I feel like that was, I was kind of put there to help some of them, but then I'm in the process of looking for something more stable at the same time to support my son and I.
Yeah, it definitely feels like you were sent there for a reason. But yeah, like I said, spend more time, you know, meditating and kind of getting to know your spirit guides that are coming in. They can definitely send you signs and symbols to help guide you through the process. And I want to say also pay attention to dreams as well. They like to send a lot of signs and symbols in the dreams.
Right.
But I think that's about all we have for you right now. We got to start moving on to topics. But yeah, thank you so much for calling, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're going to start moving on to our topic. Awesome that we already had, a few callers there. So my first question.
Let's get on to the first one.
How did you first become interested in crystals?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So as a kid, I always had rocks in my pocket, we'll say. And I still do right now. But I always picked up stones off the ground and brought some home, and my mother would always know who, to find little dirt trails in certain places.
Break the dryer.
Exactly, pretty much, yeah, clinging in the dryer. But when I was 12, my great-great-aunt passed away at the age of 99. She lived in Pennsylvania. And her family, her children had come up to visit that summer when she passed, and they brought some boxes. And in the box, there was this bag of a whole bunch of, it's called Rotary Club stuff. Mm-hmm. And my mother, me being an inquisitive child, I'm like, what's this? And she hands me this bag and says, go away, go play. So in this bag, I found a smaller bag, almost like a sandwich baggie that had 3 different little stones in it. And one was clear quartz, one was rose quartz, and one was amethyst. And I'm like, what is this? Because I've never seen a purple rock before, or, whatever. So I still have the card to this day. I still have that amethyst. I don't even know, regrettably, don't know what happened to the other 2. But the amethyst had a little card that said it's February's birthstone, and that it come from, Thunder Bay, Ontario. So this was specifically from Canada. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is just way too cool.
Yeah.
So over time, as I was, as I'm getting older, I started becoming more and more attracted to them and actually keeping them in my pockets. And I started noticing that I felt differently when they were with me versus when I didn't have them. If I was out and about, because I'm extremely empathic, and when I was a child, I'm a Leo, so I'm very out in the open and just hey, it's me. But as an empathic child, I'm a Leo. I hid behind my parents. I was that kid that was always walking up the parents' butt because I was hiding from everything.
Yeah.
So I noticed that when the amethyst was not with me, I would hide more.
Oh, wow.
So after time, then about 18, I started reading tarot cards. And I started keeping them with me when I read, and I noticed that as I'm reading these cards, this information is just kind of coming in, and I'm becoming more in tune to the energies around me. And I'm like, there's got to be something more to this. But we didn't have a computer when I was 18. Right now I'm about to show my age, right? So we didn't get a computer until I was 21. So this is a couple of years later. But all that time, it was really me reading books, self-education. Then when we got the computer, it's searching what I could find online, because even then it was barely anything at all.
Yeah.
And then when I was 25, I had moved out on my own, and I had this neighbor upstairs who knew a lot about different types of things with abilities and so forth, and she's just I don't know why, but here, just started handing me stones. So up until about, I want to say about 5, 6 years ago, I actually wanted to start helping people more, because I noticed how things helped me, how they were starting to help me and my energy, because energy is huge with me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to help others. So I started making wire wrap crystal jewelry, which I have here at the Ivy League Psychic Academy in Amherst, plug. And so then after that, I'm just kind of noticed more people coming to me with all these different questions, and all this knowledge that I've accumulated over the years is just coming out of my mouth, and sometimes I don't even know where it's coming from. Well, I do know it's from my guides, right? Yeah. And I'm thinking, I really need to get a little bit more into this, I think. So over the last 2 years, I've been diving more into the educational part of it, to the point where I have learned to become, especially with energy, I'm a certified Reiki master through the academy here. I am a certified crystal healer through courses that I took. And I have also learned how to give a generalized crystal energy session. and also balancing chakras and aligning chakras and working with those with crystals as well. And I'm an ordained minister. Yay!
You've been busy.
I've been very busy. The last 2 years have just flown by. Like, if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I would have been a medium, you know, or reading for people, reading tarot publicly, making jewelry, and being a crystal healer, I would have said, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, no. But no, it has changed a lot through the academy here. It's helped me a lot, is to really embrace my Leo side, I suppose, because I really kind of stayed hidden.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think we have a caller waiting. We're just going to jump to the callers. You have to wait too long. Hello, caller, are you there?
Hi. How you doing? I was reading the description, and I'm kind of curious. It said, you know, you talk about 3 crystals that work with somebody's zodiac sign.
Yeah.
My sign is Sagittarius. I was just curious. It kind of caught my eye. I know there's no coincidence. I just happened to come across the show. And funny enough, I have a friend. I'm in New York. He lives on Long Island. He has a crystal shop, you know, him and his wife. And it's just
cool.
funny that, I saw this and I said, wow, this might be a sign. Is there anything, like, I know my zodiac, Sagittarius, my rising is Leo, and my moon is in Aries. So I don't know if that matters. Or
Aries, okay. It does, because we are actually, I want to say, me and Amanda are in the process of taking a really fantastic astrology class here at the Academy. But with Sagittarius being your moon sign, this is where a lot of your energy, or sun sign.
No. Sagittarius is my main sign, my birth sign, Sagittarius.
Right, that's your sun sign. Yeah, when you're born, we have the sun sign, the moon sign, and then our rising sign. So your birth date would actually correspond with the moon sign, the sun sign. I'm sorry.
So you are Sagittarius.
He's getting me. It's so hot here. So with being a Sagittarius, 3 stones that would really work well for you would be turquoise, azurite, and labradorite. Now, a labradorite especially is very good for, it's one of what we consider to be one of the psychic stones, one of the communication stones, spiritual communication stones. But with turquoise, has a very nice calming energy to it, but it also has a bit of a psychic kind of spiritual connection as well. I mean, all of them connect with energy and everything, and crystals vibrate at specific levels. Say like a clear quartz, for example, vibrates at roughly about 32,000 hertz. And the human body is somewhere, I've read so many things about the human body, but we're somewhere between like 500 to 1,000 hertz. So you can imagine that vibrating energy really kind of like getting in there and mending things and stuff. So, but for you, I'm getting a lot of hands-on with things, like hands in the dirt I'm seeing with you. So I want to say that the turquoise and the azurite especially really kind of help with getting your hands into things. It's very relaxing too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I used to do, I guess, gardening a little, but I don't, like now I'm a writer. You know, I write a lot and I produce video.
Oh, very cool.
I don't know if that would be the hands.
I would say so. Very hands-on, very hands-in things, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And
all right, so get to that crystal shop and see what you're drawn to.
Yeah, I figured, so maybe I'll get a turquoise. And what about the other 2? Should I just leave those, or just the turquoise?
You can get them if you want, because what happens is with the crystals versus with the zodiac is that with the crystals vibrating at specific energy frequencies, so does our own energy. And with the zodiac, with them being, connecting to like with certain planets and everything, it vibrates. Our energy vibrates at different levels. So when you're being more of a Sagittarius at times, these stones will actually help keep that in balance and keep things a little bit more under control. So yeah, definitely. But with you, with being more hands-on with things, I'm actually hearing more like also obtaining a piece of fluorite, and that will actually help with the writing as well.
Okay. I had got a lapis lazuli, I think it is.
Yep. Lapis lazuli. Yeah.
And it's in the form of a ring. You know, it's still a rock. I like it. Like they said that would help with my speaking and my public engagements. I didn't know.
Yes, lapis lazuli is actually one of the main communication stones. It is also another on the list of psychic stones, but it's a communication stone. And that actually helps with like your throat chakra and your third eye as well. Lapis lazuli, it's actually one of my favorites, one of my many favorites. But one thing it does is actually helps you to muster up kind of the courage to be able to articulate things better, to be able to spit those words out a lot better, to just formulate everything and just have it flow more. If you need more courage, we'll say, to actually really bring that stuff out, I would definitely recommend getting what's called carnelian. It's an orange form of agate, and that really brings a lot of strength and courage as well. So keeping those in your pocket along with one of your Zodiac stones will probably really help with all this as well. Okay?
Okay. Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah. Appreciate
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I think we have another caller waiting. Hello, caller, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Brianna. I'm calling from Buffalo here.
Okay, what's your question tonight?
How do you know when you need to cleanse your crystals and clear them? Like, how do you know when they're full?
Okay, there's a couple ways I can actually answer this. I have kind of like cleansing, recharging rule of thumb, and what I go by is once a month. And there's many ways that we can really go about that. But first, I want to say, to really answer your question, is if your stone is starting to feel kind of like blah, like you're not feeling as much energy, like potency off it. If you have a stone that's kind of more clear, like I would say like quartz, and it's actually looking a little foggy, it has drawn in way too much energy. Crystals not only give amazing energy, but they absorb it as well. And it needs to go out, because if it collects way too much, they can crack and they can break. Depending on the stone, I would say the two that I would say is more like the foolproof method here is using sage, whether it's a smudge, the smoke from lighting a sage smudge, or sage incense, or you can lay them in a bed of sage leaves, and that will help draw out the energies. And then when the full moon comes around once a month, you're going to want to have them in the full moon. They don't need to be directly in the light, but just the energy itself will actually clear, cleanse, and recharge. So if you don't have sage, you can just strictly stick by the moon.
When they're in the moon, do they have to be like, I heard you have to put them like in a water bowl in the moonlight, or you just put them in the moonlight?
You could just lay them on your windowsill or like a table or something that's like, in the window. You can put them outside, but here's kind of the thing is some stones don't do well in water. They will actually break down. So this is why I recommend the sage in the full moon, is because you can use water to cleanse. You can use salt to cleanse. You can use the earth, like digging a hole and putting them in the ground. However, that stone should not be getting wet. It's going to break down if the ground is moist. It's going to break down in water. Salt can break stones down. So this is why I really highly recommend more like the sage and the moon.
Gotcha. Wonderful. Oh, thank you.
Okay, and what's your zodiac? I can tell you what 3 stones will work well with your zodiac energy.
I'm an Aries.
An Aries? That would be diamond, amethyst, and bloodstone.
Ooh, okay. Got
so
it.
you can get away with, I need this diamond because it goes with my Aries energy. Thank you.
Right. Well, watch out now.
Right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much for calling.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. So.
No one wants to hear about me. They just want to call in, which I highly encourage you to please call in.
Yeah.
This is way too much fun. But go ahead.
I know. So we already covered it a little bit, but my second question was, what is your favorite crystal?
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I really can't think of one without coming up with 30. So let's just go with 3 I'm actually wearing at this time.
Okay.
So that's clear quartz. And I'll give a little reason why here is because with clear quartz, it's called the Master Healer. And it really can do anything and everything. It can amplify the energy of another crystal. It can take on the properties of another crystal. So say, for example, like the caller we just had with the public speaking, he needs like carnelian and he doesn't have one, but he's got a clear quartz. You just grab it and you just really set your intentions that you would like for the quartz to help you with the properties of that stone. So in this case, courage and strength to communicate. So focus that in there. And that will actually help you out, help keep you calm and relaxed and everything else. So yeah, clear quartz is really kind of amazing. It can actually help to recharge the other stones that's around it as well. Then I would say tiger's eye, golden tiger's eye. As a Leo, I'm like heavily drawn to the stone. I just love it, love it, love it. It not only is protecting, but it also helps to balance our energy. Helps to kind of, if we're floating way up here, it kind of helps to bring us down a little bit. And helps to really kind of keep us together. Also, it's a really, really great stone for prosperity and luck. So it's definitely one of those I'd recommend for work. Like if you want to get more prosperity and abundance out of work, hoping for extra hours, like tiger's eye will usually help out with that. And then the other one is, we already kind of covered it a little bit, but lapis lazuli. This stone is amazing. It actually, I have one in my pocket. I have one on my necklace. I love this stone dearly. My joy guide, each one of them have stones. And it was funny because they told me what stone they want. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to have a stone for you. No, they told me. So lapis is the one my joy guide picked. And I was like, oh, and then when I read the properties like a couple of years ago, I'm like, oh, of course it would be. So, but it really helps with, again, with communication, with helping you to kind of calm your nerves a little bit, but it really kind of helps to let the words flow and just kind of helps to bring it out. It's very soothing. It really just kind of helps. Sometimes I let it just sit on my throat. Sometimes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and it just really kind of helps there, but it also brings out that third eye as well.
Oh, okay.
So those are my top 3, and let's cut it there because I will go on with another 20. So
that's really cool with the quartz, though. I didn't know you can kind of like program it to be like a different crystal, like as a substitute.
Crystals are very programmable. It's really about a lot of stuff. It's intentions, energy. Setting your intentions, clearing things. It's setting intentions. And you really just set your intentions and you just hold on to it and really just focus what you want into that stone and really just kind of sit with it for a couple minutes and then you kind of go. It's pretty cool.
That is very cool. All right. So I believe we have another caller waiting. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hi. Thank you very much. Yes.
Hi. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Wendy from Sacramento, California.
Okay, Wendy, what's your question tonight?
I started a new job on July the 5th, and the first 3 days were a nightmare because I did not have access to computer systems that everybody else was learning. I asked if I could be transferred to a new class. The answer is no. And then they said, we'll catch you up. And that was a fairy tale. And now they're looking at me because I'm lagging behind. And coincidentally, my hearing aid stopped working properly. So I am off starting tomorrow to give me 2-3 weeks to get working hearing aids. So I'm hoping, because of this ADA, Americans with Disability situation, that now they will restart me in September, and that I'll be able to keep the job for at least 4 years.
So obviously, it definitely feels like a very, toxic environment that you got yourself into. Unfortunately, it also feels like, again, like with the empathic abilities and kind of taking in too much that's around you. I want to say, just being there and being around those people without proper protection. I'm also kind of feeling like that kind of zapped the hearing aids as well, like just that energy overload.
Energy, like empathic energy, stuff like that can really mess with technology at that point. So that will really kind of mess things up there.
I definitely keep hearing, the break is good, to help you kind of recharge and cleanse. Okay, I think we're having technical issues. Do you have a zodiac sign? Do you want to hear about crystals for you? Did we lose her?
Hello?
Hello, are you back? Okay, sorry, we lost
I'm back. I don't know what happened. Thank you.
Okay.
What was your question?
I'm sorry. We're also doing the zodiac crystals tonight as well to give you some bonus information. So what is your zodiac sign?
Cancer. I was born July the 6th.
Okay, so with Cancer, we have Moonstone, Pearl, and Peridot. And Peridot, I want to say, especially with this current situation, is not only really good for the heart chakra and bring in kind of like loving energy, especially with the situation. I would say more loving energy just feels like needs to be around. It feels very low, very kind of weighed down, but it's also very protecting and nurturing as well. And with Moonstone kind of helps, again, depending on which one, because we have Rainbow Moonstone, we have Peach Moonstone, and then we have like a Black Moonstone. So with Moonstone can actually help to not only like really clear those energies, but actually kind of help with working with the mind and give a little bit of mental clarity. That would be Rainbow Moonstone. So, but I'm definitely feeling with you more though. I would say I feel like Rose Quartz really needs to come into play a little bit, especially with the job place, and then something like I would say Black Obsidian as well, because what Black Obsidian does is it's actually volcanic rock, so it's really more of a glass than a crystal, because crystals are minerals. So with the glass, it will absorb energy, like negative energy. It kind of polishes up and sends out positive, but depending upon the surrounding energy, it can, with it being glass, it can be very fiery, so it can really just kind of shoot it out and kind of heighten things. So you really kind of want to also set your intentions too with this job to get things done, to really just kind of set your intentions for more clarity and for more prosperity and stuff like that as well.
Okay. And that's what I've been trying to do. I've been clearly communicating with them, and now I think I finally have their attention. And my supervisor has never been a supervisor before. She's quite young. And before we actually agreed that I was going to take time off, I asked to speak to her outside of the classroom, and I made it crystal clear that we were both on the same page. I said, well, I'm not going to just not show up for work. I said it very nicely. And then she asked me a few questions, and then she finally understood, and she said, okay, to take what time you need, etc. And so at first she was thinking I'd be coming into class and then intermittently leaving, and that's not going to work, because if I can't hear while I'm there, that's not going to help me with my training. So she finally understood that, and I'm going to send a follow-up email this evening. So I have a history of tracking this whole thing with email. And I'm hopeful that I get a new boss as well. She's very impatient, and I hope I get a brand new boss in September. Do you see that happening?
A new boss in September?
I imagine that they might restart me in September, and I think what they're doing is assigning one supervisor for each class. And since I'm going to be out of the class that she was in, that I was in with her, I'm hoping that they assign a brand new supervisor in my next class.
It won't be probably for some time. What I'm basically seeing is that you're kind of stuck with this one for a little while here. And then as it goes, I want to say maybe like November, I'm hearing something. There's a switch. There's a change, and then there's like somebody else that you'll be working with entirely.
And what month was that again?
November.
Okay. You know what? Actually, that makes sense, because if I'm starting in September, it's 7 weeks training. And so that would be that when I'm exiting the training, so that would be a new boss.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. We have other callers waiting. We have to move on, unfortunately, but thank you so much for calling.
Thanks.
All right. Bye. Okay. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Paul calling from Williamsville, New York.
Okay. Hi, Paul. What's your question tonight?
My question is in regards to a relationship recently that has begun, and looking to see, how the future, what the future holds, and if it's going to last.
I'm feeling like there's definitely potential there. Her energy feels a bit flighty. I want to say kind of like focused on one thing and then kind of jumping to the next thing. It feels like she kind of really needs to learn to like focus her energy more on sticking with one thing and kind of going with it.
Okay.
I feel like ultimately like she'll work things out though. I keep hearing, with your support and encouragement. So, just having the patience to really kind of support her through the process. It feels like when she's around you, you kind of balance out her energy, and almost like she turns into like a different person. I want to say. So I would say there's definitely good potential there. It's gonna take a while to kind of work things out and kind of I want to say really balance. Tree, you have anything to add?
Yeah, it kind of feel. I agree with where you're coming from. It actually kind of feels more like. It kind of feels like patience on his part with this. I kind of feel like she's a little up, down. I think he agrees with me. Yeah. It's just, she's a little up, down, left, right, and everything. And in 1 minute, it's like, I love this girl, but then you're like, oh my God. So I would say a little bit more patience. A little bit more patience here, but there's some really good potential. It's a nice mix of energy, and I don't want to completely copy Amanda here, but definitely with the balancing, it's just like a nice kind of mix. If we can picture energy as like a ball, there's like, say we have like blue and then pink just kind of coming towards each other, almost like yin and yang type, and just kind of mixing really, really well. So, yeah, stick with it.
Okay, so I need to be more patient?
I would say yes, but she also has to be mindful of how much she's asking of you as well.
She kind of has to learn to kind of control her energy more, I want to say. It feels like almost maybe like a little bit draining for you at times, just because, like I said, she's kind of like bouncing around this and that. But yeah, again, I feel like it'll really, it feels about like 3 to 6 months, I want to say. Things will kind of start balancing out more, and, you'll really start enjoying things more, I want to say, because right now it's kind of like, I don't know, like a little back and forth.
Kind of all over the place right now?
Yeah, but I want to say,
because potentially... Yeah, because potentially, sitting here thinking about, all the likes and so on, I'm starting to actually think this girl could be the one. I'm in my 30s now, and I've never been married, and it's been a thought repeatedly.
Yeah, so like I said, just give it that 3 to 6 month mark. I want to say things will start turning around, and then You'd be like, okay, yeah, like this definitely will work out. And what's your zodiac sign? We can tell you the 3 crystals to work for you.
It's Aries, April 7th.
We're getting a lot of Aries tonight.
Yeah.
So that would be diamond.
Aries is the best.
Right? Well, I don't know about that. We got some pretty awesome Leos. That's my Leos. So I would say, so there's diamond, amethyst, and bloodstone for Aries. And what is her zodiac? Do you know what hers is?
Hers is. Let me think.
You're going to be in trouble.
Her birthday. Oh boy. No, her birthday is. It's at the end of June, so that would be.
End of June. That would be
Cancer. Right?
Yeah, it would be Cancer. At the end of June. So with Cancer energy, it's moonstone, pearl, and peridot. So
I thought it was a Gemini. Maybe it's a Gemini.
She could be. Gemini has a lot of oh my gosh, like really kind of like scrambled energy. It's good energy, but it gets really kind of like back and forth and everything. So I'll say Gemini anyway. We'll say citrine, rutilated quartz, and green tourmaline. And the citrine would make sense because citrine is really, really good for balance. It helps with not only the solar plexus, but also with your aura as well.
Gotcha. And just one more thing. Can you guys suggest a stone for? I have psoriasis. Is there a stone you guys can suggest for that?
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to find my list. I believe it or not, because of crystals, the way that crystals are, there's literally hundreds of thousands of crystals, and there is no possible way to remember every single stone possible.
Okay. Yeah, right.
But let me hold on one second because I am looking it up. As that professional as I am, I have paper.
Right.
Let's see. Well, for skin disorders in general, there's like a ton. So we have amethyst works, which goes right along with being an Aries. Mm-hmm. Also, bloodstone can kind of help as well with the blood flow. Bloodstone's real good for blood pressure, so it helps bring it down. It can help it too. So I also want to say, let me see, what else do we have in here? Jasper is very good as well. There's different types of jasper. You have like leopard skin jasper, green jasper. Jasper is really good and soothing for the skin too.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, ladies.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good night.
Okay. Do we have another caller waiting? Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Rosemary from New Jersey.
Okay. And what's your question tonight?
Is there a relationship coming in the future for me that leads into marriage?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Break it up.
A relationship that leads into marriage in the near future.
Oh my God, that is so weird. Okay, relationship leading to marriage in the near future. I believe that's what I heard.
Okay, sorry. The must be the phone or something. It's just a little.
It's the empathic energy
I know.
taking over.
It feels like it's still a little ways off. I want to say like the 1 to 3 year mark out.
Yeah.
It feels like there's more life lessons that have to be learned on your part, I want to say, and also learning to sit down and really, really think about what you want. I feel like rather than just kind of like accepting what comes, I want to say really put your foot down and say I want to attract a partner with this quality, this quality, this quality. You know, write it down, make a list. Just really strongly set your intentions for this right person to come in. Mm-hmm. Tree, do you want to add anything on that?
No, I'm right along with you. Actually, I don't really see. I just see patience. I just see a lot of like, kind of like just being relaxed and just being a little bit more patient with everything because it's going to flow. And if you start to focus a little bit too much on it, you're gonna miss some good stuff. So. Patience is a virtue.
All right.
Cool.
And if we can hear, what is your zodiac sign? We can give you three crystals real quick.
Capricorn.
I'm sorry?
Capricorn.
Oh, Capricorn. Okay.
Okay. So as Capricorn, we have smoky quartz, malachite, and snowflake obsidian.
Cool.
All right. I think we're having some more technical issues, but thank you so much for calling. All right. So I guess real quick, we'll just ask another quick question for you before we have to wrap up. So what exactly do crystals in general do? Like just a general function of them, I guess.
I'm gonna be funny for a moment. Pull out a quote from like one show I've been watching lately, and they make you feel warm and fuzzy, like you just got out of the dryer. No. So basically, crystals like they vibrate, as I said before. They have like an energy, like hertz and stuff like that they vibrate at. And what they really do is their main focus is really to just help and heal our human energy, which is, if you look at, I hate to use this reference, but like a chalk outline. Yeah. If you have a person and you draw a chalk outline, like your human energy is like literally right around you, and then your aura comes out from there. So what they do is they really kind of help to kind of aid and work with our human energy. And once that energy is really kind of like really good and everything, it will then help us on the inside more. So when we do things like with different healing modalities like Reiki or using crystals with chakra aligning or balancing, or a general, general crystal healing session or energy session, you don't have to put the crystal directly on the body because those vibrations will still go within the energy. But it's good to lay them on. And some people like myself will put crystals in like an organza bag or a velvet drawstring bag to help protect its energy as well. But for the most part, they're really geared, and they come from Mother Earth. They come from the ground, from the dirt. And I kind of look at them as Mother Nature's way of not only trying to heal us, but really heal the planet as well. I am a little concerned with so many crystals coming out of the earth nowadays. Yes. But, you know, they help us so much. So really putting them back in. And I do want to say that if you ever have a crystal that you really don't want anything to do with anymore, either give it to somebody who you feel they could really use it, or put it in the ground. Just bury it right back into Mother Earth.
Don't throw out crystals.
No, do not throw them out. Don't flush them down the toilet. They're not fish. Don't flush them down the toilet.
Oh, man. I couldn't even imagine flushing them down the toilet.
Some won't go. So, but that's pretty much their main, in a nutshell, kind of their main purpose.
All right, so, you know, amping up your energy and things like that.
Yes.
Well, there was a lot more we were going to cover, but we had so many great questions.
We should maybe do a part two of the next show. We could, redo it.
Yeah. All right. So for a full list of classes, visit IvyLeaguePsychicAcademy.com, and to book a reading with Reverend Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium, visit IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com or find her on Facebook. You can find me at Amanda Friedman Psychic Medium on Facebook. Theresa, where can they find you?
Also on Facebook at Theresa Matuszak Psychic Medium.
All right. So we thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Our next show will be August 6th here on Ask a Medium at Academy Talk Radio, where we are raising up the next generation of light workers. Good night, everybody.
Good night.